Warren Gatland will be naming his team for the first test on Thursday, but everyone's got their view on who should be in and who shouldn't be. So let's get your Lions 15 now then, lads. Take us through 1 to 15 and why you've gone for them.
This is the team, and I don't think I'm far away from it. So I'm going Wyn Jones, who, by the way, I tweeted back in February that this guy's going to be a Lion, and people are asking me if I'm taking the piss or not. Uncle Hamish called it. I'm an expert.
You knows your ruggers.
So I'm going for Wyn Jones.
Yeah.
Rory Sutherland's got a real opportunity to start. He has. But Rory Sutherland, the build to that, he's been injured. Wyn Jones, for me, will stand out in the Six Nations, whether you like it or not. He's good over ball, which is important, obviously. And I'm a big fan of his. Mako, unfortunately, scrum penalties. Whatever reason, he's in the heads of the referees. World Cup final, could be on the bench. Luke Cowan-Dickie. No one has stood out for me in the last year in world rugby as hooker than him. Oh, my chopperoo tackle. Hard as nails. He's in form. So line-outs on point. He's in there. You could argue for Jamie George as well. Ken Owens, Sheriff. Love him. It's one of the hardest positions to pick, but I've gone for Luke Cowan-Dickie.
I'm disagreeing, Jim. I'm picking Ken Owens. I just think he's a Gats's lieutenant for years. It's so close between the three hookers, isn't it? And what each one brings to the table. But yeah, I'm just going Ken Owens. I'm going to have to disagree with you, Jim.
No, I don't think there's anything in it. I think Luke Cowan-Dickie's tackling gets him in.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm naming the forwards. You want me to say yay or nay? Tyke Furlong, no one's tested him really. Sinclair off the bench. Xander Ferguson's not done enough on tour for me, unfortunately. Obviously had a back injury. Tyke Furlong is probably head and shoulders, not head and shoulders, ahead. He's a head above tight head. Sinclair obviously got called up on tour late. So Tyke Furlong, I reckon Sinclair will be on the bench.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. Can't disagree with that.
I can't disagree with it. Marrow in the second row, a given. Alun Wyn Jones, captain, he's in. Agree?
Agree, mate. Completely agree. If
Alun
Wyn Jones is there, you have to start him.
And if he's there, we care. Get it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think some people are saying stick him on the bench, blah, blah, blah. But you need him from the start. Make him lead. And then you can, if he's flagging a bit later, take him off then.
The back row's an interesting one.
Tough,
because it is the toughest one because of the quality of players. I think Ty Burns sneaked past Courtney Laws. I don't think he'll go for Curry and Hamish Watson. And people are mentioning them at 6 and 7. Well, have you seen them at 6 and 7 before? Have you ever seen Hamish Watson? Have you ever seen Hamish Watson play 6 or Tom Curry? I'm sure Tom Curry's probably played 6.
Curry has,
but not really. But not really. He's a 7.
Yeah, but he's also played 8.
Yeah, he has played 8. But has he played 8? Has he played 8? So I've gone for Ty Burn. He's done enough. He's been standout in some of the stuff that he's done. Good over ball, scores tries, and was wicked in the Six Nations.
Yeah, I just think that Courtney Laws starts ahead of Ty Burn at 6. The physicality, what happened against the Springboks South Africa with that physicality, Courtney Laws is primed to take that on. So I think Big Court starts at 6 ahead of Ty Burn.
And 7. Andrew, I put it out there because Hamish ain't speaking to me now. It is test week. But I've gone for Tom Curry. Now, I don't think it makes a big difference. It matters who goes in there. Warren Gatland said that they're both playing really well. I just think he'll go for Tom Curry because he's more up and down physical in terms of the tackle, in terms of the collision. Hamish Watson's slightly different, the way that he carries. He's a monster ball carrier. South Africa need to stop him dead. I think Hamish Watson against Peter Steph Toy is getting tackled hard. Tom Curry is getting tackled hard. So it's much of a muchness when it comes to the ball carrier because you're getting fucking monsters anyway. So I reckon Tom Curry just edges it around the contact area.
Yeah, agreed. They're both world-class 7s, both sides of the ball carrying and getting over it. Curry he's a coach's dream, isn't he? Just how he plays. He's so physical, so energetic. He doesn't give many penalties away as a 7. So I completely agree. I think Curry just starts ahead of Hamish Watson, but I'm having Hamish on the bench.
Definitely. Ahead of Sam Simmons, unfortunately. Taulupe Faletau at 8. Arguably, you could say he's not been amazing, but we don't want to go back 4 years to 2017. But he's a big game player. He's a big bloke. He's unbelievable in the carries, unbelievable in open space. And I reiterate, he's a big game player. I don't think Sam Simmons have enough. I don't think he's had enough exposure on tour. Do you know what I mean? For whatever reason, however it's unfolded for him, Faletau is one of them players that has enough in the bank to be like, mate, you're starting 8. Unless someone puts their hand up and goes around absolutely carving up, you're in. So Taulupe Faletau at 8.
Yeah, agreed. It's one of them that some players will get picked on a little bit of what they've got in the bank, credit-wise, with Gats. And I think this is one for Taulupe Faletau. Big game player, will rock up. He may not start all 3 tests. We'll see what happens. But I think for this first one, Taulupe Faletau starts at 8.
You're going to hit the back lines, Andrew. You're going to go through it.
The backs, Jim, my area of expertise. I may have the forward of a body, but I've got the brain of a back. So, scrum half, Conor Murray. He's been named as captain. He's a controlling 9. I know some people think he hasn't performed as well as Ali Price and Gareth Davis potentially on the tour, but again, it's been team runs, hasn't it, for those boys that they've been front football and they've been really good. So I think Conor Murray's control, his kicking game, his experience, the fact that he was named skipper, I think he gets to start at 9.
I am checking. You convinced me.
He's changed.
Well, only because I think it will change for the second test. I see it.
It ain't about the second test now, Jim.
Yeah, I know, but I think you're right. I think with Conor Murray, you're right. And when I look through the archives, and I look through the game from last week, Ali Price has been on the front foot. Conor Murray is proven at the highest level. He hasn't played that well. He's a big game player. He's Gats's captain, vice captain. You ain't not going to play him. I think Ali Price should play. I think Ali Price should play the second test. But yeah, let's go. I'm agreeing with you.
But you saying Ali Price will start the second test means that we probably lose the first test because you need to make a change at 9. So why are you being so negative, Jim?
Not necessarily.
I'm telling you, if we win the first test and Conor Murray starts at 9, he's definitely starting at 9 in the second unless he's injured. Fly half. For me, it's actually...
Why is it tough? Why are you pausing?
I was going to say... I'm not. It's not even. What I'm saying is, it's not even close for me. Dan Biggar starts all day long. Owen Farrell, he played at 12 in one game. He played at 10 in a couple of others, and has been all right. But Dan Biggar, the form that he's been in, his competitiveness, his ability to play out the game line, his kicking, everything about him. We're massive Dan Biggar fans, aren't we? His missus bakes unbelievable cakes. I'm still waiting for him, but. To me, it's a no-brainer. Dan Biggar starts the form 10. They wrapped him in cotton wool for the game at the weekend because of his ankle. But Warren Gatton said if it was a test match, he'd be starting. So I'm going Dan Biggar at 10.
Yeah, rare.
Centres. This is where it gets interesting because you can make a case for so many different combinations. A lot of people are saying that some players should play in certain positions. I'm just going for the Irish combo. What I picked pre-tour and what I think a lot of people would have expected. Bundy Aki at 12 and Robbie Henshaw at 13. That's my selection. There's people that are making a case for Elliot Daly to play 13. Chris Harris has played exceptionally well. I just think the combo of those two, the power of Bundy Aki, the physicality that we're going to need, and also Henshaw as well. I know he's only played 50 odd minutes, but he's in world class. He's a world class player, world class form. Prior to the injury that he picked up. For me, it's those two in the centres. People said maybe Farrell at 12. I don't think that Farrell and Biggar axis is something you go into the first test with at 10 and 12. I think, for me, it's Bundy Aki and Robbie Henshaw.
I've gone for Bundy Aki and Chris Harris. I think Chris Harris is one of them players that stood out. One of them stories that, again, a player that I picked out before the tour to go. No one saw it, and he's rocked up. I tell you what I wouldn't be surprised with. I won't be surprised if Farrell plays 12.
I just can't see it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think he should, but I won't be surprised if he starts at 12. Yeah. That's
no, I get your sentiment. I get your sentiment around it. I just don't think that's right. Bundy Aki is what you need, I think, for this first test.
Well, that's who I've got. I'll stick with Bundy Aki.
Good man. The only thing about Chris Harris, he's played exceptionally well, but sometimes you see something, and don't get me wrong, Cheslin Colby has skinned a lot of players in his time. The fact that he skinned Chris Harris, is that something that will stick in Gats's mind and just go with Henshaw because of it? I think that's something that, unfortunately, listen, Chesney Colby's going to skin many, many more players, better and worse than Chris Harris. But I think that's the one thing. It's horrible to count that one thing against him, but perhaps that's what it is. So that's why I've gone Henshaw at 13. Back three is interesting as well, because again, it's really tough to pick. All the back three players you can make cases for. The back three that I've gone for is Anthony Watson and Josh Adams on the wings, and Liam Williams at fullback. You can make an argument for Stuart Hogg. You can make an argument for Duhan van der Merwe, who's big and powerful, and you need that against the box. Has he been really tested? I think when you're talking top tier players, Anthony Watson's world class on the wing or at fullback, and he's shown that on tour. Josh Adams, you can't argue with anything that he's done on this tour. He's been phenomenal, scoring tries for fun, doesn't make mistakes, really good on the high ball. And Liam Williams, the bomb diffuser, that's coming all day long, and I think that's a huge strength of his. And I think he fully deserves to start ahead of Hoggy at fullback. And unfortunately for Hoggy, it is exceptionally difficult. It's so close to call. There's a number of other players that Lewis Rees-Zammit's been great on tour as well, but does his experience count against him a tiny bit? And I think that's why Gatlin goes with Anthony Watson. I think that's why Gatlin goes with Anthony Watson, Josh Adams, and Liam Williams.
Yeah, I went for Josh Adams and Liam Williams as well. I put Van der Merwe in, but I think if Aki plays, then they might not put Duhan in. But if they put Farrell in at 12, I think Duhan will play 11. But I agree with you. Anthony Watson's one of my favourite players, and I've not put him in the starting 15. But again, this is almost like a cop-out, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is. But the back three is hard to pick. The centres are hard to pick. I think the rest of them, 6 and 7 are hard to pick. 9 and 10. Actually, fuck it. 1 to 15. They called it. The lads called it. The team selection was really hard to pick, and we're struggling here. But I've gone Van der Merwe, Josh Adams, and Liam Williams is a big game player. Hoggy, unfortunately, has been ill. He's obviously on catch-up as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in a second or third test. But for this one, Liam Williams as well, who enjoys a beer. It's non-alcoholic.
Who are you guys chucking on the bench?
Are you agreeing 6-2, Andrew?
No.
You're not?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going... I don't agree with 6-2 at all. I hate it.
I know you don't, but it's South Africa old school. I'll go through then what I think. So I think it will be Rory Sutherland. I think it will be ahead of Mako. But Mako brings off the bench his ball carrying ability, but his scrum he's just getting pinged left, right, and centre. Genuinely.
I just think around the park, what he adds is great to have an impetus off the bench. So, and
you could arguably say that Rory Sutherland is a starter, not a bench player. You've convinced me again. I'm going for Mako on the bench. Hooker's interesting. Again, I'm going for Jamie George. I don't know why. Maybe there's the romance around it. But Ken Owens, again, there's an argument for him.
I've gone Jamie George on the bench, but I've gone Ken Owens to start.
And no Luke Cowan-Dickie you've gone. Yeah. I'm going Sinclair. He's been good when he's played. He adds real impetus off the bench.
100%.
The second row, back row, I suppose the worry is Alan Wynne-Jones. Like, can he do a full 80? What if Eben Etzebeth runs Route 1 Chinatown and it hits him with a fourth leg? What happens then? So you need to have cover for him. If you've got Ty Burn playing at 6, maybe he steps up and Hamish Watson is cover, or Sam Simmons. But I'm going to go with Courtney Laws on the bench.
I've gone Ty Burn on the bench because Courtney Laws is starting, so we're just flipping those round.
All right, Courtney Laws on the bench with Hamish Watson ahead of a Sam Simmons. So that's 5, is it?
I've gone Hamish Watson as well. Yeah, that's my 5 forwards on the bench.
Yeah, I'm going to go 5. I'm going to stick with them 5 forwards. You've convinced me again.
He's changed again.
Yeah. So I'll go for him. I'll go for Ali Price, even though he should be starting.
Yeah, I'm going for Gareth Davis.
Are you?
Yeah.
Off what basis?
Just what he's a try scorer. He's got a lot of history with Gats in terms of Gats knows exactly what he can do as a player. You think of big moments that he's created for Wales and scored for Wales. I just think he's ahead of Ali Price in that experience category. And Ali Price has been great and does add something different off the bench, but so does Gareth Davis. And I just think the experience counts for him, and Gareth Davis will be on the bench. Right,
you go. I've just stolen your thunder there by choosing your 9. You give us the next 2.
And then my next 2 are 2 Saracens. Owen Farrell, who will cover 10 and 12. because obviously you need some adaptability on the bench. And then Elliot Daly, boomer of a left foot, can play 13, 11, 14 and 15, so covers all the back three.
And been good on tour as well.
Yeah, been a very good player. You know, it was close that I wanted to kind of pick him at 13 as well, Elliot Daly, but I just think with Henshaw's experience and everything that he brings, Elliot Daly's option off the bench is spot on.